name is Anna Edwards, and I am the Education Coordinator of the Iredell Soil and Water Conservation District. And today I'm here to tell you all about what I do on a typical day, how I ended up where I am today, what I went to school for, what I thought I was going to be doing in high school, and I hope from those stories and these experiences that I share with you, you can figure out what you would like to be doing, because it's hard to figure out what you're doing in high school. So let's get into the things. I do a lot with soil and water. Me and my coworkers work to conserve our natural resources. Some of those that you may know of that you are around every single day, 24/7, soil, water, air, animals, and plants. We help to conserve those things because if we don't have those things, well, it would be pretty hard to live, right? So whereas my coworkers go out in the field and they work with landowners more personally than I would, I work with students and teachers more personally than they do. On a typical day without COVID, I would be in schools, I would be preparing lesson plans, creating activities, putting together materials and supplies that I can help you guys educate yourselves and others on conservation. Because if we don't conserve what we have now, we won't have it later. And that doesn't really work out too well, does it? What interests me in this type of job? When I was young, I was outdoors all the time. I was really lucky on where I grew up. I lived on a farm. I had some donkeys, I had some ponies, I had goats. We were outside every single day, me and my two older brothers, learning how to feed those animals, how to take care of them. And to know how to take care of them, we would have to know how to take care of our land. We'd have to know how to keep our soil nice so that we could grow plants or grass to help tend to those animals. We would have to keep our water in our watershed and our local stream good, because if the water wasn't good for us, it definitely wasn't good for the animals that we were taking care of. How did I discover my career path? That was a hard one. I went to school to actually become a nurse. Did not become a nurse. I went from a biology major to a psychology major. And within psychology, I really learned that I loved learning how to learn and how to teach those to how to learn. Educational psychology. I figured out that I really loved to learn more, and I learned to love to teach. Oh man, special tools or training that I needed to get this job. I'm completing my environmental education certification. I did not have this coming in. All I had was a bachelor's degree in psychology from Western Carolina University. This educational environmental certification allows me to increase my trainings and my workshops that I attend that I would normally not have the privilege of attending. I'm developing professional skills every single workshop and training that I attend, and this really allows me to better myself for my students and for my community that I'm teaching, for the landowners that I'm trying to educate. All of those workshops and that certification really allows me to be better with how I talk to you guys and how I educate you guys. My favorite part, I think you already know it, is going out and teaching you guys. I love being hands-on. I love seeing a student, their eyes widening because they figured out what a worm was. Seeing a kid, get scared from the soil that's being put in front of them that might have a lot of creepy crawlies in there, but by the end of the lesson, they now know what a worm does for the soil beneath their feet. To maybe not try to rip that worm in half the next time they see them, because that worm is really doing so much for our soil. It's making healthy. All the poop that worm lets back into the soil is making our soil better for our plants and our produce and all of the things that we need from the ground, right? I'd say my least favorite part is probably the personal, mental part of it. I'm not sure why I do this, but I get intimidated when I think about having to go out and teach older audiences than myself. For whatever reason in my mind, I start thinking, oh, they know more than me, so they're not going to want to listen to me. They're not going to respect me. But in no way has this even stood true at all. We are always learning. We never, as humans, never ever stop learning. And I think that I forget that sometimes when I go and I am teaching or educating those older than me. They are there to learn. They're not there to judge. They're there to learn. What challenges did you face getting to where you are? I would say those were a lot of personal challenges as well. I went back to the first job I've ever had. That was discouraging for me. I was very impatient. I didn't think that was what should have happened right out of college. But ironically, like crazy ironic, the reason I got my career that I am today for a year and a half was because I worked at Patterson Farm, and it's because I went back. A teacher in the county who retired and went to Patterson Farms for a part-time job contacted me and said, hey, look, you're doing great teaching these little kids how to, plant green beans. Would you want to do it on a local state level? I said, heck yeah, I would love to teach kids. Oh man, words of advice, of wisdom for you students now. You need to travel. Travel, travel, travel. Being in a different area, being around different people, just being in a different space that you're normally in, you'll be surprised at how that opens your mind to things that you would have never considered doing. Internships. Even if your major does not require an internship, please get internships. Maybe even every year. Maybe not every semester. Don't overdo yourself, but maybe every year just get one internship. This will teach you, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but this will teach you what you will not want to do. It's better to understand what you want to do, and internships will teach you that, but they will also teach you the opposite. It'll teach you what you do not want to do. And if you're not having fun at an internship, most case scenario, you're not going to have fun doing that as a career. So please, please, please invest in internships and invest in your own time. It will be worth it. Make connections. I know you guys probably hear this all the time, to make connections with your teachers, which is very important at this age in high school, but it's even more important in college or a higher level or wherever you go, even if you don't go off to college. Making connections is very important. With those older than you, with those younger than you, connections are important. Make connections, be polite, learn when you can learn, and teach when you can teach. So guys, I've really enjoyed talking to you today. I hope I've given you some wise knowledge. I know I had a short period of time, but thank you again. My name is Anna Edwards. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or you just want to talk, feel free to email me at the email below, or you can contact Miss Hardy. I'm sure she wouldn't mind getting you in contact with me. So thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.